Gentlemen and female gentlemen, we're doing another lore dive. Some sort of pirate Yakuza game, alright? This is from Maxor. Everyone told me to react it, and we are doing Maxor Pirate Yakuza lore. That's right. Here we do lore every single day on Taku. Every day, new lore. I'm looking at a man in a diaper. I don't know what we're doing here, but that's what we do. I'm very excited to see what we got. Alright, lock in. Let's see what we got.
Hello, everybody. Makes McGood videos here. I promise this time. Let me ask you a personal question. What do you think a video game is? Usually, a video game is something that takes place...
It depends. Do you want me to tell you that what the right-wingers say or what the left-wingers say? Because the left-wingers say that video games are a medium in order to push people to realizing that fat women are actually beautiful, only to end up completely broke. Right-wingers tell you that it's a dimensional portal into the shadow realm where you could worship the devil. All right? And it's realistically, it's somewhere in between.
In a setting, and has internal logic which specifies where things are based on the things around them. That when you do actions, these things called events will happen will be related to other events. This is known in game design as the principle of object permanence. When you fail to see this principle used, you will complain. You will call the game a nonsensical slop trough or other such true insults.
I mean, that's basically what my content here is here on the Taku channel. Definitely subscribe.
You are like a babe, crying out for succor in the night. But for those of us with refined tastes in our video entertainment,
like
growing up is learning to ascend beyond the need for anything to make actual sense.
Look, you know, I'll be completely real here. Video games made in like 1996, they're just better. That's what I'm just saying. I'll be real here, right? Old fucking Doom is it's better than the Concord, right?
Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza, in Hawaii, Ryuga Gotoku, Jesus Christ, even the title can't figure out what this is a game that feels like it was made in an alternate dimension, where geography, tone, time, culture, language, relative lethality, and graphical fidelity itself all exist independently of each other, and also themselves. To the extent that even the most—
Wait, all of those different art styles are the same game?
Basic of inquiries, such as, why am I currently watching a jab of a chopped unk washing himself in the
This is from the game?! Human rights were a joke. Human rights were a mistake.
Shower for 90 minutes is a question that I am incapable of answering at this time, and where the only thing preventing a mechanic from being added to this game is whether or not a random developer thinks it is kind of funny. So on the off chance that you are hoping to get any actual information about this game, I have some very bad news for you. Which of course I will be delivering as soon as I am done playing baseball. So I can unlock the Angry Birds soundtrack.
Is this real?
That is not a fucking joke. This game—
Dude, I cannot believe this is a real game.
Technically takes place in Hawaii, in the same way that it is technically made by human beings. This is coincidentally the actual state that I was born and raised in, and despite the seemingly accurate modeling of the literal island that I lived on for 17 years, playing Pirate Yakuza has never made me feel further away from my homeland. It is very disturbing in a way that I cannot describe to walk through a Garry's Mod graphical rendering that is kind of like a building you have been in before, only to walk out onto the beachfront that you have kind of been to before, and watch as the hotel that you have kind of seen before is bombarded by a crew of period-accurate Caribbean pirates from the 17th century.
I feel like this is just 12 games in a trench coat. This is crazy that this is a real game.
At which point, I jumped onto my 17th century pirate ship, fired my pink lasers at them, and boarded with
Fire the Goy Beam pirates!
Crew comprised of 20 homeless dudes, random animals, and every furry I could find a discount for on the slave trade.
Go, dude.
Chicken Man is my strongest soldier, and I purchased him after doing 3 hours of gambling and hallucination karaoke. Yakuza is just a special fucking game.
Dude, I've never played a Yakuza game. I don't know, bro.
The problems with—
Bro, I just lost 100 live viewers since we started watching this video.
This game, or the
I feel like I'm on acid,
depending on how Japanese you are. begin from the very start of the game, where we find ourselves in the shoes of Goro Majima, a canonically 60-year-old man primarily known for ambushing his senpai in random manhole covers and trash cans, recovering from his midlife crisis by proceeding to steal an entire pirate ship and becoming a better father figure to a child than his actual dad. At which point, Majima decided to introduce the child to the concept of a brothel and gambling because I said a better father figure. Not a good one. In order to facilitate our reckless marauding of international Labubu sales, we have to first earn ourselves a lot of money and hire a lot of homeless guys.
Dude, homeless people, flashy outfits, brothels, and gambling? Is this a Hassan Piker stream? Okay, alright.
Like real life, Pirate Yakuza revolves almost entirely around the need to make more money, mainly by upgrading our ship with a myriad of customizable options, most of which
this game just feels like, it looks like ADD the experience.
Are fundamentally insane. So to actually make our money, we need to beat up a lot of people for their $12,000 pocket watches and do a lot of gambling.
Too bad.
Never mind, I hate this.
I love playing gambling where you don't actually lose money. Maybe it's in my blood, but I don't gamble ever. It doesn't happen.
Fucking game, and I'm going to kill myself. This is all done within the game's 2 primary cities, beginning with the pirate haven of Madlantis, a seedy, chaotic, and leisurely location where every single woman character model is a prostitute, and the average time between street fights stretches into the 10-second mark. This is the part of the game where it becomes evident that there is
anarchy and prostitutes. What is this? Hassan Piker stream?
Literally no plan for what the gameplay should actually be. Bouncing seemingly at random between baseball with cannons, blackjack with hookers, claw machines with Samoa Joe.
Why?
He's also the king of the Pirate Kingdom, as well as an entire naval coliseum featuring high-stakes, high-sea battles with crews of sumo wrestlers, escaped convicts, the BDSM squad, and just actual robots. But if
literally, why and how? Like, how is this a cohesive story? Sumo wrestlers, prostitutes, robots, and what?
If I were to try and describe the main mechanical madness of Madlantis, I would tell you that this game is primarily supposed to be a beat-em-up, not that you would figure that out for yourself, frequently pitting the player against absolute industrial quantities of random goons inside the world's least insane Waffle House. And to do so, we have to properly utilize the combos and finishers spread between 2 distinct fighting styles. As a mad dog, we engage in a series of fast movements, knife attacks, and the ability to clone myself because, this game does not have enough units on screen, and as a hot dog, sorry.
What, cloning abilities? How does that even... Okay.
And as a sea dog, we watch as the creators of this game just kind of give up on having the
knives and cloning abilities. What is this? Mass migration into London? All right, I'm really gonna see myself out.
Allowing us to access a powerful arsenal of swords, guns, grapple hooks, and the malevolent influence of 4 dark gods, notably including the dark god of killing everyone and ripping their skin off, as
just summon like giant monkeys and shit,
well as the dark god of summoning a tornado and instantly kidnapping the entire screen. But for those who are properly concerned about violence in movies and sex on TV, you will be pleased to know that our protagonist does not canonically kill anyone in this game, just giving them horrific injuries and lifelong disabilities that definitely make them.
This is like in Pokemon when you drop a fucking nuke on like a level 2 Rattata and you're like, oh, the Rattata fainted. Yeah, sure it fainted. That motherfucker fainted so hard it went to the afterlife. That's how hard it fainted. All right.
Wish he did. So no matter how gratuitously violent everything on screen seems to be, just know that Majima is definitely an upstanding, moral paragon whose only goal in life is to provide secure employment for the world's extant clown population. Gainful opportunities on the SS Hello Kitty Island adventure include such tasks as powering the rocket engines that we use to drift around enemies, manning the cannons, of which this game story apparently is, as well as participating in a bout of hilarious high-sea brawls ranging from small scurvy scuffles all the way up to battling and boarding the entire population of an actual carnival cruise. Needless to say, we are going to need a lot of hands on this deck. Which of course brings our ship to the second major location of this game, where we will focus on recruiting our mighty crew in the
He's dead. That guy's dead, all right? He's dead.
Metropolis of Honolulu. featuring such recognizable travel destinations as the Waikiki Beachfront, the Ala Moana Shopping Center, but they can't actually call it that, so it's named the Anaconda Shopping Center.
Dude, I love when they do this in, like, Japanese media. Welcome to McRonald's. What? McRonald's. What? McRonald's.
Even though there are no snakes in the state, and the streets where I used to run into moving vehicles for insurance fraud. Also, there's my favorite restaurant, the Gamer Sup store found in Description Street of the YouTube video neighborhood, where they sell wonderful energy drinks with code MAXOR for 40 cents per serving.
But specifically, if you're not right-wing, because then they might cancel your collaboration with them.
It's the only affordable drink in the entirety of this goddamn city. Now, while this virtual rendition is surprisingly accurate to the real Hawaii, I do have to point out that the amount of random street fights is slightly exaggerated from real life, as in reality, warfare would be considered kapu around this point due to the prominence of the fertility god Lono, whereas the amount of random homeless people that you will encounter on the street is not exaggerated nearly enough. But what really broke my immersion and destroyed my entire experience was the idea that I could walk into any restaurant and not actually buy any rice. Fun fact, one time they opened a Buffalo
Oh, is that Advanced GG? Oh, my bad.
Wild Wings and all.
I'm slandering the wrong gamer drink company. I apologize.
Moana, and they received literally non-stop complaints about the menu until they finally gave in and started serving the public rice. Much, of course, like the real state of Hawaii, Majima's crew is extremely diverse and
bananas and rice only. That's what we serve here. Take it or leave it.
Made of many backgrounds, because Hawaiians are very tolerant of all races and nationalities, so long as that nationality is not Micronesian. And if you get a Hawaiian to actually say anything
like hyper-specific racism
about Micronesia, they will sound like the Mustache Man. So naturally, in order to secure a variety of people, and also maybe non-people, we have to do an extreme variety of completely disparate activities, taking up the vast majority of my entire playthrough. Sometimes recruiting people is easy, such as with the random homeless guy that I found on the street and recruited by giving him a single beer, or the swimsuit model who seemingly stands around waiting for a single person to score 100 in darts, while others are unnaturally complicated and absolutely not worth doing unless it is for the bit. Like the
That is so cool. You can just recruit any retard that shows up in all these places.
quest where you can recruit the famous Japanese streamer Kason, notable for having videos that I
Oh yeah, I knew she was in this game. She was telling me about that actually. That's crazy.
cannot show you by walking around town and waving at people to make friends on the social media site Aloha links for the next hour of your stupid chud life. Not beating anyone up, not gambling my life savings away, just fucking waving at people on the street a minimum of 90 times. As you can probably tell by this point, there are many places in Waikiki to spend our time and money, and most of them are fun, like attending the entire vocational school where—
Look, man, if I was really trying hard to make friends, I wouldn't be playing Pirate Yakuza, you know. I'd actually call my family members that I haven't spoken to in a while, all right? Like, I'm just being real here. Playing a video game where you wave at NPCs has got to be one of the most diabolical shits I've ever seen.
Majima apparently attempts his fucking HVAC certification or something by entering into a series of difficult tests on such useful subjects as fashionista,
I learned my fashion in the Quality Leering Center, ladies and gentlemen.
alcohol expertise, Japanese underworld studies, and Sega proficiency, while other activities like Mahjong require the player to memorize a phone book and hallucinate themselves into actually winning, because I'm convinced that Mahjong is a made-up game designed to make white people commit suicide. But if Mahjong and vocational school aren't your style of unusual gameplay mechanics, there is no need to worry, for Pirate Yakuza has a unique career opportunity where you get to play as a National Geographic cameraman.
Someone in my chat just said something, and I'm like chuckling about it. It's not called the Quality Leering Center. It's called the Quality Rearing Center. All right, moving on.
Recording and documenting in full HD the extremely rare crotches of random jacked perverts on the street.
Why?
At which point, we unlock enough activity points to buy the perverts for my ship and place them into close proximity to the female cast. Needless to say, there are
His boat's just gonna end up Epstein's Island. This is insane.
Quite a few things to do in this game, and absolutely none of them come even close to the sheer joy and rapture that I felt when I first played Crazy Delivery, did 10 backflips, destroyed every car in a 2-mile...
I'm not gonna lie, I started this video with, yeah, this game looks like fucking retardation, I'm never gonna play it. And now I'm like actually really tempted to play it.
...radius and delivered to someone a $2,000 pizza. It's not delivery, it's vehicular manslaughter. However, the most impactful thing that we can do as a captain is...
Vehicular manslaughter?
...is not merely hiring a crew of employees...
Bro, you don't want to hire an employee that'll frame mog you while you're looks maxing.
But instead, bonding with them and forming friendships that I will soon come to regret. Because the real treasure on this pirate adventure is the friendships that we have made along the way. To this end, Pirate Yakuza has a great variety of interesting side quests to directly engage with members of our crew, usually in the most mentally deranged way possible.
What is this squad? Oh my god, dude, it's actually the retard Avengers. That's insane. My cortisol is through the roof right now.
Such as in the quest where I taught a bronze statue performer to tolerate getting beat up by children and encouraging others to do the same. Or the side quest where Majima assists the traveling circus on their mission to abuse exotic animals. Most of the time, these are pretty short, you know. You see a man, he is collecting trash, you collect trash, and as a result, you get trash. And other times, they are incredibly long, varied, and extremely impactful to the morale of my ship in a way that mere description is not able to properly convey. But in the interests of making this video kind of funny, I will do my best to recall the bizarre story of Masaru the Chop Dunk, who has recently come into a bout of depression because he is obsessed with Japanese high society women. So of course the natural response to such a conundrum is to track down and engage in 6 separate stalking quests where Majima attempts to recruit all of the women who, contrary to popular belief, are different, to a bizarrely filmed live-action Japanese rendition of The Bachelor, where every single woman is after the heart of the most chopped unk you have ever seen in your entire life. Along the way, Majima will learn that women are not merely pretty objects to yearn from the internet, like you may assume, but entire human beings with interests and actual sentient emotion. He will go go-karting with them. He will go cosplaying with them. He will do a live stream with them, creating a mass casualty event for the world's largest population of online simps. He will buy a copies of their adult magazines and then give those magazines to his shipmates. And he will have an intimate conversation with them about self-acceptance regarding eroticism.
I love sexy stuff!
Bro, I cannot believe this is part of the game.
And convincing them to demystify sex work. Also, one of them just fucking kills people using an actual sniper rifle. After which point, we are treated to a genuine, and this is not a bit, 30 minutes of watching our chopped unk fumble every single bag in increasingly insane and unhinged ways. And if something like this ever happened to me, you would not see any more videos after this one.
I cannot believe this is real.
The point I am trying to get across here is that Pirate Yakuza needs to be seen in order to be believed. If I didn't have visual proof of the things in this video, you would not believe that any of this was real, let alone being inside of the exact same game. But after you found your crew of maniacs, after you've seen them fight on the battlefield, after you built and customized the perfect ship, and seen all of these elements finally click together, there is no other game that will have this much chaos make so much sense in retrospect. Is it weird? Yes. Is it good? Definitely yes. You need to experience a Yakuza game at least once.
I'm gonna play a Yakuza game. I'm gonna play a Yakuza game. I can't believe this is happening to me.
In your lifetime, and that is non-negotiable. Okay, maybe
Yakuza 3 remake Backlash blows up again as actor guilty of sexual harassment stars in new trailer. Oh my god.
it is a little negotiable. Thank you to all the people supporting me on my Patreon.
That was insane. All right, dude. I'm sorry, man. We might actually have to play this. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. This is the lore dive on the Yakuza thing. New Maxor video. Link in the description, of course. Really appreciate it. That's crazy. Maybe we'll do lore dive. This is what it takes to sell Nux in a game. Yeah, it's a look, man. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? It's retarded. I love that. It's amazing. It's relatable. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.